What if I told you that every slow month in your design business is actually sitting on thousands of dollars that you're not capturing? Hey there, I'm Mark Ducote, and I founded Resourceful Designer to help graphic and web designers build income that doesn't rely on waiting for the next client project. And today I'm breaking down 20 concrete ways that you can start earning extra money, starting this week. Now here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to show you income methods that work for both graphic and web designers. Then I'll break down what's unique to graphic designers, and finally, what web designers can tap into. So whether you do one discipline or both, you're getting ideas that actually apply to you. Shall we get to it? Let's start with the fastest wins, services you can offer right now without building anything new. First up, audits and consulting. Now, whether you're a graphic designer or web designer, audits and consulting are a great way to earn extra income. Businesses sometimes feel like something's off with their brand or maybe their marketing, but they're not quite ready to drop maybe 10 grand on a full redesign or a new website rebuild. And that's where you come in. You spend a few hours with them reviewing their design, their performance, and their user experience. Then you deliver a written or maybe a video critique with actionable recommendations. You charge them $300 to thousands depending on the scope of the work. And there's a low barrier to entry and a high perceived value with this. And honestly, many of those audits end up becoming full implementation projects anyways, since there's a really good chance that the client engages you to fix whatever issues it is that you found. Then there's the retainer model, which I talked about in a previous video. I'll link to it up here somewhere. Now, instead of project-to-project chaos and never knowing when you're going to get paid, lock in a retainer client for, say, 10 hours of work a month at a slightly discounted rate, or maybe a fixed number of projects in a given time period. This way, the client gets predictable design support and you get predictable income. That's the trade. Now, one solid retainer client can cover your slow months and give you breathing room to pursue everything else that's on this list. Now, you may be thinking, this isn't really extra income, but I haven't come to the best part yet. In my experience, many retainer clients don't use up their full allotted hours or their full projects every month, and yet you still get paid whether they do or not. That's where the extra income comes in. Now, here's something that works across everything else that I'm going to talk about on this list, and that's affiliate marketing. And here's how it works. You sign up to become an affiliate for the products and the services, the stuff that you recommend and you actually use, stuff like design software, hosting platforms, maybe fonts or stock image sites, whatever tools you use to make your life better and that you share with others. And then when you do share them with others, say your clients or other designers or anybody, whoever your audience is, you share your affiliate link. And when someone clicks on that link and they buy, you earn a commission. Now that commission is usually a small percentage per transaction, anywhere from maybe 5, sometimes up to 20%, depending on the product or the service. But it does add up fast because you should be recommending things you're talking about anyways. You do it on a regular basis. Now, I'm an affiliate for many of the products that I mention on both my podcast and in my videos here. And every time somebody makes a purchase through one of my links, I earn a small commission. And this is passive income that's attached to the content that I'm already creating. And here's the thing. I only recommend products that I actually use and trust. And that matters. Your clients and whoever your audience is, they know when you're being genuine. So if they believe that you are sincere when you share something with them, they're more inclined to use it. Now let's talk about products. This is where it gets interesting. You create once and you sell it many times. Templates are the obvious starting point here. Social media brand kits, presentation templates, resume designs, website themes, Webflow templates, HTML and CSS templates for web designers. Pick a niche that you understand, design a solid template, and upload it to a place like Creative Market or Etsy or Envato, Theme Forest. There's many of them. Or you can create your own sales page on a site like Gumroad. You build the asset once, and then every sale after that is almost pure profit. Stock graphics and icon packs work similarly. You go through your old projects, stuff you did for clients but you never actually used. extract those unused concepts, you maybe clean them up a bit if they need to, and then you upload them. Graphic designers can sell icons and backgrounds on places like Adobe Stock or Icon Scout, and web designers can create UI kits for component libraries for Figma or Sketch. There's small payouts individually, but they compound fast with a catalog of, say, 50 or 100 assets. Now, if you want to actually help people level up their skills, online courses are your play. Now, Udemy, Skillshare, or maybe even your own platform are the best places. Record a course once, and then you earn from it indefinitely. Now, you want to think something like logo design for beginners or landing page designs that convert. Focused courses like these will outperform generic, here's how you design something, content every time. And you'll earn anywhere from a few $100s to several $1,000s, depending on the number of people that enroll in your course. You can also host live workshops through Zoom and charge admission for immediate active income. Then there are presets and styles. Software like Lightroom, Photoshop, Illustrator, they all have actions or presets or styles that are really underrated when it comes to making income as a designer. Now, if you have a signature editing look that you do on a regular basis, package it up somehow. Photographers and fellow designers will pay for your workflow if you encapsulate it into a tool that they can actually use, such as an Adobe Illustrator style. It has minimal production cost and high margins, and you're monetizing something that you'd be creating anyways, so it's a no-brainer. Now, here's where it kind of gets meta, and honestly, this is more of a long game. YouTube works if you're willing to show up consistently. Yes, like this now. You're watching me on YouTube as we speak, which proves that it works. And once you hit the eligibility threshold, YouTube pays you through ads. And yeah, revenue may be $1 to $3 per 1,000 views. It's not glamorous. But once your channel actually gains momentum, those ads add up. More importantly, YouTube drives traffic to everything else. If you're selling templates or courses, or even your affiliate links, it's the hub of your income generating stream. Now, the same thing applies to podcasts. I've been hosting the Resourceful Designer podcast for over 10 years, and I've earned a good amount of extra income from it. And there's blogs and newsletters that do the same thing, but in written form. Write about your design process, share tips and review tools, Substack, a personal website, maybe Medium. You can monetize through ads or affiliate links on these places, and eventually your own products if you want to sell those. A newsletter with a few thousand engaged subscribers is genuine real estate and easy to make an income from. And sponsorships takes this one step further. Once you do have an audience, a YouTube channel, a podcast, a newsletter, or a blog, companies will pay you directly to feature their products. I had a sponsorship deal with Sticker Mule for my podcast, where they paid me to talk about their platform. Now, depending on your reach and your negotiation skills, sponsorships can range from a few $100s to several $1,000s per mention. And just like the affiliates that I mentioned earlier, the key is to put yourself out there consistently. Share your knowledge, build trust. The more people know you and respect your opinion, the more willing they are to buy based on your recommendations. And companies notice that too. They want to work with creators who have an engaged audience, even if it's smaller. So as you're building your YouTube channel, your newsletter, your blog, start thinking about which products you generally love using, and then reach out to those companies and ask about affiliate programs or sponsorships. Now, affiliate programs are typically free to join. You're not actually selling anything. You're just recommending and adding a link. But over time, those commissions become real income that requires almost no extra work. And then there's brand collaborations and UGC work. That's user-generated content for brands. Now, there are many companies out there that will pay creators like you to produce authentic, visually compelling content featuring their products. Now, this can range from $500 to $5,000 per project. And as a designer, you're positioned perfectly for this sort of work. Now, before I keep going, can I ask you a quick favor? If you're getting any value out of these ideas, please hit subscribe so that you don't miss the deep dives that I'll film on the ones that get the most interest. Seriously, I read every comment that you guys post, and they shape what I make next. I post new videos every week on exactly this sort of stuff. Now, if you're a graphic designer, here are 4 income streams designed especially for you. Now, print brokering is one I don't see many designers talking about. And when I say print, I mean everything from paper printing to signage to promotional products to vehicle wraps, basically anything that could be printed on. And instead of handing your clients a file and saying, here you go find yourself a printer, you become the middleman. You source the quote, you place the order, you oversee the proofs, and you coordinate the delivery. But you get to mark up the price or negotiate a discounted rate with the printer. It usually works out about 15%. You charge the client the full printer price, and then you pay the printer the discounted rate. For every $5,000 print job, that's $750 in your pocket, just for coordinating work that you're basically already doing. I once made $10,000, and all I did was drop off a flash drive at a printer and okay the proofs when they were done. Yeah, okay, there was maybe a bit more involved than that, but not nearly as much as you'd think. And the money is great. I highly recommend print brokering. Fonts and typography are a longer play, but if you love letter forms, this may be your lane. Design a typeface and sell it on a place like Creative Market or MyFonts or FontSpring. You get to keep 60 to 70% of each sale, and a single font can generate ongoing income for decades. Now, if you're interested in designing fonts, I suggest you check out Font Lab. I'll link to it in the description of this video. Now, Printables hit a sweet spot between quick creation and decent margins. We're talking planners, worksheets, coloring books, goal trackers. You design these as PDFs and you sell them on Etsy or maybe some other markets. The production costs, $0. Distribution is instant, it's downloadable, and people will pay $3 to $8 for a well-designed planner. And finally, there's merchandise and print on demand. You upload a design to Redbubble or integrate it with Printify on Etsy or use any platform out there. There are literally tons of them. And then you sit back. Stickers cost around $1.50 to produce, but you can sell them for $6. And there's t-shirts, there's mugs, there's posters, and it's all handled by the print provider. I've personally uploaded over 100 print-on-demand t-shirt designs to various platforms around the web, and I make a few $100s every month from them. The more you design and more you upload, the better your chances of making sales. Now, that was for graphic designers. But if you're a web designer or a developer, here are 4 income streams designed specifically for you. Now, web maintenance plans are the obvious first move. Normally, you build a site and that's it. But here's what I want you to see instead. Every site that you launch is an asset that needs ongoing care. So you offer your clients a monthly maintenance plan, and you take care of software updates, backups, security monitoring, small content tweaks, and you charge them a flat monthly fee. 10 clients on a modest $50 plan is $500 a month in predictable income. And the work? You batch it. I spend about an hour per week managing several dozen client websites. It's easy money. Now, hosting services layer on top of that. Instead of telling clients to figure out web hosting on their own, you become their single point of contact. You resell the hosting under your brand using a wholesale provider in the background. The client pay you one monthly fee and you keep the margin. It's straightforward money, and the clients are way less likely to leave because you're literally keeping their site up and running. Now, personally, I combine hosting with maintenance into one package. I insist that all my maintenance clients host their websites through me. Now, not all designers combine the two. Some offer 2 options, which are hosting and maintenance together or just maintenance on its own, and it's entirely up to you. But I prefer host the websites that I'm maintaining. Next are UI kits and component libraries, which are a quicker product to produce if designing full themes feels a little overwhelming. You design a cohesive set of, say, buttons or forms or any sort of navigation element. You can do cards or dashboards, create them in Figma or Sketch, and then package them as a UI kit. Developers and agencies will pay because they save massive amounts of time. You're selling the pieces you're already building for clients, but in a way that helps dozens of teams rather than just you. Plugins and micro SaaS tools are for the developer side of you. Think about the small tools that you wish existed when working on a project. A better form handler, a performance dashboard, or an automation that fixes a recurring WordPress annoyance. You build it and sell licenses or subscriptions. A simple plugin with 10,000 users doesn't need a huge conversion rate to generate a healthy recurring income. This is what my friend Brian is doing. He built something to help one of his clients, And then he decided to sell it as a product, and he's making money off of it. Yes, even in the age of AI, where developers are using ChatGPT or Claude to create code, there's still a vast number of people who are more comfortable leaving that to others and simply purchasing the solutions that they need. Now, here's what I want you to hear. You don't need to do all 20 of these. You need to pick, say, 2 of them, maybe one service-based and one product-based, and commit to them for 90 days. Why? Because slow months aren't a threat if you've got backup income. They become an opportunity. That's when you upload templates. You record that course. You build your email lists. You're not panicking about the next client. You're using that time to build your business. And most of these require zero startup capital. You already have the software. You already have the design skills. You're just redirecting them. The math is simple. If you add a $300 retainer and upload, say, 5 templates that average $100 total a month, you've just added $400 to your monthly baseline income. And if you're a web designer and you add 4 maintenance clients at, say, $75 a month, plus maybe 1 template, that's $350 recurring income. Now that's a great buffer. That's peace of mind. That's designing on your own terms. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one idea from this video that made you think, yeah, I could actually do that. And I want you to drop it in the comments. Tell me which one you think you would do and why. Because I'm going to create a deep dive video on the ones that get the most interest. If, say, a whole bunch of you say you're interested in templates, then I'll film a tutorial on how to create templates, price them, and launch your first template pack. And if a bunch of you say maintenance plans, then I'll break down exactly how to set up a maintenance plan and price them. Now, please, if you found this useful, you already know the deal. Subscribe so you don't miss the follow-ups. I'll see you in the next one. Stay creative.